The Balanced Body Revo Reformer. It's become the studio standard all around the world. It's very adjustable for different heights and has a lot of other useful features for different exercises and different situations. The first thing we're going to talk about today is the straps and this end of the machine. So coming over here, we have the risers, and these create a different angle of pull with the ropes. You can have a high position, which is here, or a low position, which is here. In order to adjust that, you just unscrew this black knob, lift it up to the height that you want, and tighten it back up. Coming down now into the strap, we can also adjust the length of the rope. We're going to do that from here. This has a double loop on it, which makes this a lot easier. There are 4 common positions for the ropes. One is holding on to this loop, or a loop that is the level of the shoulder rest. That's called the regular strap position. The other one is to hold on to a strap that is the same distance as this silver peg. That's called the short strap position. There's also an extra long or long position, which is in this case organized by putting the short strap around the shoulder rest and tightening that up. And there's also an extra short position, which is arranged by pulling this so that you have this about a hand width or so shorter than the headrest. And that's used for some of the kneeling arm work. So you see how there's an infinite amount of adjustability on here, depending on which exercise you want. In order to adjust this easily, you pull this out with your finger so that the rope is free of the cleats, and then you just tighten it back up at the length that you want by sliding your thumb in this way and pulling it gently towards you. The ropes should be dressed for safety either here, which is in other words away from the rail, or you can also put them in this small hole here, and that's most convenient if you don't adjust your ropes very often. Now we're going to go talk about the foot bar and the spring bar and the adjustments on the Revo at that end of the machine. The foot bar has a lot of different adjustments. It has 4 adjustments. The first one is in this lowest position. This is where the kickstand is in the low position, and that's low. Then it comes into the middle position, and that's considered the high position. Then there's an extra high position here, and in order to lock this in any position, you just slide the sliders into the slots, and then the foot bar isn't going to go anywhere. The last position is the no bar position, which brings the whole foot bar down at this end, and you just let it rest on the edge of the frame. In order to change the springs, which adjust the resistance, on this machine we use both hooks and buttons are what you're going to use to adjust the spring tension here. The hooks are the non-preloaded or the B position, and this is a little bit lighter. If you take the spring and put it on the button, that moves it into the A or preloaded position, which is a little bit harder. To go through briefly the sequence of resistance, you're going to start with the yellow spring, which is your lightest spring. To make it a little heavier, we change it to the button from the hook, or from the B to the A position. And then if we want to make it a little heavier, we take the yellow spring off, put the blue spring on, and then one more step up would be the red spring, and any combination thereon, and the other combinations are in your manual. Now the other thing we're going to do here is this machine allows you to adjust the distance between the carriage and the foot bar by moving the entire carriage. So to do that, you take this silver handle, you pull it up, and you slide it back to the position you need it to be in, and then you let it fall down that way. So to do that again, just lift that up, slide it towards you, and let it fall. This second position is most similar to any other reformer that you're used to working on as a normal working position. So that is the number 2 position. This is for a person who's between 5'2" and 5'6". This is between about 5'6" and 5'10", and then we get into 5'10", 6'2", and then as tall as a person can be, basically 6 feet and over is in this position. For a shorter person or children, you can move it all the way into the number 1 position. So with all that adjustability, this is a great machine, and I think you'll like it. And that's our Revo.